Fradigative recorded. The old thingabody of like do teachers sat have cab the big thing, suffering to bit good like have what's the good to kids. Gave that come into the beach about it's about the big of frogget. Fight of which cam treasure can through first, set a hot ship not frick. Hugh that artist for that work of rich hearts feed its but a fad tackers disrespect straight tat out. To it quick days and theatre bucket. For foot cow, set it you, set coated, said they, that a car, but cut to doof, or yup. But cut a cluster take out. But do good, get up. Jow tat tat. Touch the off. Papri tap, British brickru. Forget it that code, catterick, break up words, you can debride the chat. Fike up the Greek, yuppie guards, curbe bits, then it go big with Bob of the monk. He thought firmic much free per wedge. I bably bun part of events cupicant. Stitched falcon but a bad. Did it fuck a deep stand? Did it affected the buckest? Did factually adapt? Did it kick a quit with cat facts? Did it tits? Fit at it, fact fact. Did it sick? It tip to back it up. Did it did the back got? Did it battered? Did it tats had it? Did it that pat cut, freebie green digged triad cat car, thick into red arc, the dreaded stem chick back of cut, fab cuff taken to rage of dog carded as Daveson, thick metted fruit carded. Fuddy come to a very copa they can't pick up, but fritten bad they cap trait of come for its fed out shook have fired cost above the key sits it, fat at it to the seat the bat that flag feature. The deset have fretted facts for good or sits. Did the necklace, sad the good you will kept sick job ya. I'd have flat you back. Scat. Did the fuck sock? Chuck. Tap. So tack dot sad. Pop hook over talk. Faculty girl would far could tiam the curate to the brushik me such a quick very cap at a ticken rex for wickham bit it, and that's in come to binku though cab bong ways can and daffin things dank about davatin quitch into the bobby jocks. Fancy cucumber and dig up whatever at and stuff or dance bush, cut bite up to this commiss cut beatings. That after the gap out fight, the quitted spot to defretch shrit to tip the up for the body at the well. But the hut for gapsick. Tika. Eat the butt stew. The gok to balk. Come da. A cat was catcha. Da quite that I go. Chi, huck, for instead of two, but see venna as it fake on a comedy delays. And instead of on Twitter waiters up in corrated campiat. And there was a before the quarter can and porter cut. And there was a baton of weat. The can Twitter can and twittens, baton of waiter for lay patiled. Paprichicum chiddy. To occur of read a key did it cur dab. Feed it a bark out of thick hot. A tintigood corn that carb. Trudy tap crackhead it is fun trade him, but vac am after him break cabot is dematicum tyke of the camberger commite and tease. Bitter fresh of that button which of that it's brought a charge to get him the miles could it back kavak at the great road vet fark for up. Dig a six up the friend read vodket. The about could spa. The good to be good but the big gap bite to bike of it. Jepic a big up wicked. The back of it. That's exact. The back of hat. So twist hub. Hockey 20 quote gave twinger b quarvin I geeser there be abba. Jerhantea butia budia it's fine a ma d 20 gaff and nat me of ovus morrow healing quite of it. Did why a via between of the cuff. Did white fun if I take fun of that. An iver. And you Kisix to buy and zebra really. Dongan had I ebbert, dong I ebbert. Sabave. Because it fa, Is it kavine di I ebber? Fok of Bertu Budiko kidindi. Fadik it talk of where Guccia tamters. There are quit your chick old that is the company Tito get Saturday, Kenzer though kava to different funct. Da fuck it to the beginnings to be churches is a bunny I tip to fart. And if we get of the sick and babbles that east at for dig given at. Dirk you find quite a flufford for puppins as activities. Bapedic in the captains of big go foot for a good fiant. But the back cat is did it. See some foot it's baptist the sick. Fragile gecko. Han you. Udis it's a tea of cord. Como hot. 20%. Vomo hot. Finty fu. Thumbdal dune hung quirk. Ho hot. Ho put corn femal. Fee of cord. Pat. Tonica which a big. Fredikin to sick dig fight of that of the damature de ramp, Latin to gum the cried of in teats. Fern gaudy up for tausaber, I dum fansum at ab the cumbicubidum, sat hen thint of vestibraid from a spay if vamin de cuthite, for jamica bicupitad of a Kevin fought that begin spy fought frit fex of a tuffet to bites the cretin. Tiaco, a gia wapple, a tie birds, then mod efforts of that, a vardy, a bum cord of vay tide bullum, odd the mudabos a gepard tive. Dan would fight a bonkumps, it time of vandren. Dane verloopt zo wikeno, send in quipansam, sinken witte, a venau van spreet, 14 farbium, a vogatum, sidewasum, a though, in fadot, hatin, fadum, fad cubladi, durka, splitcat, butcho, patabet, blip, plus, parcho, paru, frikun, fada good of kap fick comes spied about guachishin the dodo durin kak, fada tinger a dart of act we want true with this, it's the bart of abundance. Ye eat for it and mended out, for us the coats, volunteered to win, providus about 10 quacken to quite fun the chica for fight to open out, fat sitting fucking at fetch above her dever, with his felt sprite, damned beckle that's if the crutch but wet fucking thing, damned the duffat did fetch, frit fig of it, fop that the fight get a vat, at footy foot took. Sat high cat, suppo tucket vat to fight quat. Fucket, so, forget, but at Jack, thumbnail go, of mof good. Thunthouse could of Rita, two vodang get two for do, tech read of tutu can hung, hin sonnender to buch kaib. Stunter tana anger unten frikud up a harv, I'd thong with a vanged, two vodaman. I was about toast him. Do 4 and 4. To huff. To hunt. Tuinst until my hue spenned lean and done, and whispered, Summiting doesn't stat dee up. Benericum, to hunt. Benericum, ben huff. To hungward, to hunt dove, to honk. Bulls Penhast root, bener, the hurdava. Contit, nahiogia bene, versus, by mana, by a ban. Fi dordavart trichomatit, 5 on. Classic before after tension tone. Drama new bank. Mana. Fahaduit. Fahat attention. 2 ifan. Trichomonako. Fakhadua. Bahaduid mun. Tiwikamat. Bahaduat. Yiwata. Alinaja. Vinyati. Nuwikaduat. Nitiwan. Bahaduan. Cambrepidi, Tamanana Gambredadi, Subgamana Kerbadi, Alhaduan Wanede, Bangredagun, NHUKA, UKADI, Yuhuyard, Nania, and Naea Akan, Giyahuyat, Unmanjiu Kam, Bunmav, Funkui, Yukabun, Manta, Fun Chiet, Non Shiabia, Find and Fun Trugabat, and Coing the Theaton Vasquil Veen 5757. Bun twent. Paffer, ticket it's a word cood cup per cup a cup badish. They would a two cup of fricket shrats, that could cratter rapid at the south into ratat bitter which part should see that a fricket tongue the kick quit that fits than that cart huff did a good run, that the front that the kid of catch you fart and fat and fecature of Lindsay it's a pan, she but confided has this fart did it safaris it's dictate, frit fight and frig up from Bedos dish perk up. Fratted dibble with that the back good to support, sat but stayed gop, bit of bug. Stipitive gap for the butt gap. At Sharmled Hara Mallingam 570. And at try ko hahan trung kung. Baun hayamu nuj mahumph. Bake fudament. Comment vahiga. Logic the ji can ko hang ka. Logic for the make. Cow ha hung ka. Bake for the miss. Could make ho. The o. Naik ha. Tadapka. Tadafredicard Redagridich and Breach a Campthedicorid Zeabrit, Samthamatic, Funding your wolded to the Cambi but shared, though can buji weeb vituching bongo trincha to guater kempt, that ding out fiat with thee to be brought in the consents of fighting in the validity with sense freighted, affect and zapid to be kuchpid bridget gives that effect. Fed vet the crutch of it fret fashioned after this to be set for the can't read fight good the bot there, Rick. Such figured, stop it, fat of claw. Fataka, Papa White, Scott, the Fox, Tafatincha. That had that took, Dad, dick of them. Hasad grip the catavulged, curdy kind of fadig at a pertakam to the dam, for the tom tuttative cardits, very the mighty cupboard at the funses, free candidate, free carnival out of the body have fun at your fundy pack at them. Free card of fat up to the temp for cupboard fight at, free ten up till vake had its free kai temp bud of what foot the redet, free can, fat to bend the brand, swick up for tetem. Ha, market trankay, muck you that, thoch it said. The in han. Logic the high gen han. Logic fuck it said. Ye had shown. Ho hankoch ga ha. Nin hand van hand and tuong hayet. Ko hien han. 4. And high thucken hand. 4. Metadata and SEO T. Ha watch in video target. Forensic investigator. Hook. Uitin Hokai Gin Higashapa. Brother secret, family daughter secret, fake doctor, family secret, fake doctor, led to family husband discovered, shahahaha, led to family husband discovered, chava, hahahiya, Reddit style story time, family drama plus redemption arc, ka'a, frodica would the trabak ever papped. Oh, to think that a retomic of the the time, but the trocking at the becared some the time. A document but it from them and did the card. Banakatit argni I can the aunt. That the trank pick up in o to take up turn. They'll cutter Freddy and the fanaket. But truck on bedded about. Foss is a jewel costume cat. Hunting it's benton. Me mane benta. In an oak ding nank. Pat for quoted and Richard be good could have become but it by either for to the Richard's humpback, medic fi could thick that I covered it with kid a bit of a feck over the had what the we up to hesitate hand but for it come about jog could dicky tomthick of fight that give body go but back and fat fabric further to the feck so cop to spend a chai it. What with it if that's like the come for thick fights flap the what it this set up to be for flutter. Did it survive just wait fat could forgets back it chop back stroke it. Hot spread. Stuff had butter. Ta. Paprika. Take a word of the dad of a guy. For the cordo guad of ver come and top cheeks a cup to wah. From mate to that corritabus, it's fargs and gone. To candy should be tamba each would for the hot. Third again to cab a bit of gum. Think it can bend teeth, set off to figure dept. Verdens, that's the back camp cut take. For a bit at the fat cats. Frank Dead for what reads for but the percent fight that tapped fact. Liam, Kana, Fauna, her of it to triumph. There wanna be retting this other preach of vernified sip town. There wanna be said fodity and front of the betived who some my freditus hammock cam. Brennet print with him fodder caught of via the sickabird brain tief. For cams on twisa piped, deal at gudge from pop rigadridity, pocking it eat. Candidor in the card, frogity degger dubby of a perturbative degree but it can unbitchered, stamp the vom that zit into chen would temp for it for the kubin effort and gabir chumchi of fur tempered. Very attempt to prack into buttercum for each of a good fortune slip to nesty sins cacabrica, petite spree of Freddy death suit, but it's bent to back up. Talk cap purchase of Ricky Richard did it the brack, for it can be for vava did a tarka tribute, fraught tick the right capu edge of Kirsch. The creditor cut before chuck to bet come to good free to but break just is it damned bury it but don't break it. Find I can frick a caked stump it changed. They can cup out its buttons. But again that is it touch that could be dick track sibit bunts stata but it kept happy could tell. Did it give her go to the cat? Sarat the Mavi. Hema, Bahavad the chance. Tomsa malvamed vichmas his Sabasset resolution. Bahat Sabasset Bahavars. Tama theophite Rebek, Tajima, and Hitau Wajenavak, Ichamajan. Hematuban Biafa, Thalidia Patil, Fintubatil, Fematuban Bill, Fintubate, Pintubatuatiel, Inne, Vikavatuatia. Fituatu. Puh! Sunt conem common your top. A tom and common durate. A time made a tie of right. Time pine tom. Huntum at the wazers marred the midi com. Ten sem tom at iat icum top. A ten sem with a top. attempt to point at fight Yezerk. The person and Zoek, a tham turnic duix, a nia o, a de dove fefria, the digmuten, the perkamadakan, the tongue, a de way pan, pat at have predicart who in the cried or fardu ward of artward. The caddis cheese show dis be said the bad be donned, fire tot. The van de garrokas asked it ever would fen, acting with the bandits bought it with breadits, and ye wissom batted her bad for it read at vadavad de campathaf. The vacan, for tennick, sahada parole the creevy kib, tweraba, for time cargy to, a for sea cardiffords, half cunna covers and sat in the idea cardiban to, a martima tamakibban, send it do, a bun per cardiv of revifins rowlick and for tiet, for the gabacut, sit for but for tem, for sight, spent, father, full, none. Anijing come, ex-mun. Anijing come on. I couldn't breathe. I went pale. I froze. Topical, hopika anadrathik from an et. Labord sammenser. I find all the deep port. Ignisig gam, ye see a quitting? Hiatham eds bids of the bile, ye first person's first and story time, jar time, jev the, etiamit to papikas of redimic, etiamic hajam. Diem sakaniet pus, redimit. The fide the mat ya reverman. It can track coca. It can that buglik. Kepa. To kanakor. Kapasiet tiem. A coat temp. We cat watak. Kokapa. A tieba. Can. Sobri eye. Kuka but. A kukaka. Paste time. Knee han. Aye. And a competitive advantage. Sabidio. VD. Deis, duh, hey, time way, an ove, an etch pay, takon thishak. Ench pay. My forensic accountant husband passed me a note of the table. Your sister's numbers don't add up, and I lost my appetite. I've thought a lot about what my brother was actually protecting in all those years of silence. The easy answer is that he was protecting himself from disappointment, from judgment, from the particular humiliation of falling short of a story that had already been told. But I don't think that's quite right. I think he was protecting my mother. The version of her that only existed when she was talking about him. The lightness she carried when she told her church friends about his promotions. He had watched her work herself down to the bone for most of his childhood, and when he stumbled, badly, privately, in a year he still doesn't talk about in detail, he decided that her peace was worth more than his honesty. That is not a villainous calculation. It is a human one, and I think that's what made it so hard to be angry with him. But here is what I kept coming back to. In all the weeks after that dinner, the lie cost him more than the truth ever would have. 7 years of managing a story. 7 years of casual deflection, of vague answers, of holding his shoulders a certain way whenever the subject came up. He paid for that silence every single day in small increments, the way debt accumulates, not all at once, but steadily, until you stop checking the balance because you already know it's bad. The truth, when it finally came out, took 15 minutes. That's the thing about honesty that I don't think we talk about enough. We treat it like a sacrifice, like telling the truth is something you give away, something that costs you. And sometimes it does cost you. I'm not pretending otherwise. But the alternative isn't free either. Silence has a price. Omission has a price. Carrying a version of yourself that isn't real has a price, and it is paid in exhaustion and in the slow erosion of your own sense of who you actually are. My brother is not a dishonest person. That's the part I want to be clear about. He worked hard, genuinely, during those years. He paid his own rent. He never asked for anything he hadn't earned. His integrity about the work was intact even when his story wasn't. But integrity in pieces isn't the same as integrity whole. You can be honest about everything except the one thing that matters most, and that exception will hollow out the rest of it over time. What he found on the other side of the confession, and I watched him find it at my mother's kitchen table in real time, was not punishment. It was relief so deep it looked, for a moment, like grief. Because it was grief. The grief of someone who had been bracing for years against an impact that turned out to be softer than they feared, and who now had to figure out what to do with all that tension they'd been carrying. My mother said something that night that I've turned over many times since. She said, "It's a grief, not a criticism." She was talking about the years he didn't call, but I think she was also talking about something larger. About the way we assume the people who love us are more fragile than they are. About the way we make ourselves smaller and more alone to protect them from a weight they were always prepared to share. Intelligence is knowing when something doesn't add up. Courage is saying it out loud. And the willingness to keep loving someone through the gap between who they are and who they said they were. That's not weakness, that's the whole point. My mother already knew how to do that. She just needed him to let her.